Hello and welcome to Glendale Today. I'm Councilmember Ray Malnar and I represent the Sahuaro District located in the north central part of Glendale. On today's program, we will be talking with Brian Friedman, our Economic Development Director, who has been with the city for over 15 years. Also, we'll be talking about Banner Thunderbird Medical Center, a valuable partner and an outstanding asset for Glendale, and a point of pride in the West Valley, and I'm especially proud that it's in the heart of the Sahuaro District. My guest is Deb Krmpotic, Chief Executive Officer of the Banner Thunderbird Medical Center. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Brian, why don't you start off by telling us how, in your tenure here, you have seen the city really grow and change.
Thank you, Councilmember Malnar. Glendale has already experienced substantial growth in the healthcare industry. We are very, very fortunate to be in the position where we have already welcomed 3 notable hospitals to our community. The first and most important, of course, is Banner Thunderbird, and the largest hospital in the West Valley. The second is Arrowhead Hospital at 67th Avenue in Union Hills. And our third and newest hospital lineup is the Dignity St. Joseph's Westgate facility. And so having 3 major hospitals in a city of our size is a fantastic start at really what is a major attraction for all of us, because we're consumers of healthcare. These are things that we all need in order to live a healthy life. And in the end, the quality of life starts with a job. And the only way we maintain a job and take care of our families is to have substantial health care. And Banner's a big part of that for Glendale that I hope we talk a little bit more about on the show.
Well, Deb, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about Banner Thunderbird?
Oh, I'd love to. Our history dates back to 1960 when we actually opened our first hospital with 62 beds on the corner of 60th Avenue and Northern. It was called Northwest Hospital, and it was in that location for about 23 years. And it later was called Glendale Samaritan Hospital until we moved in 1983 and opened in our current location at 55th Avenue and Thunderbird, and it opened with a 75-bed tower.
That's changed a little bit since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty drastically, actually. We have gone to 555 beds.
So this is the shoot prior to opening.
To take care of 555 patients, you can imagine we have to have a whole host of people to do that. We have over 2,800 employees that are employed on the campus to do that. We have over 1,200 physicians and over 300 volunteers. Actually, the volunteers span from their teenage years and young adults clear to, we have one woman who just celebrated her 102nd birthday.
Well, that's amazing. What are some of the specialized programs that you offer there at Thunderbird?
Yeah, great. We're a stroke-certified primary stroke center. And so neurology and neurosurgery are important components of our business, but also so is heart care, obstetrics, ortho, and pediatrics. In fact, we have the only West Valley Level 3 neonatal intensive care unit, and that is complemented by a pediatric intensive care unit to flesh out our entire pediatric service line.
That's the only one in the which area?
In the West Valley.
In the West Valley.
Actually, we're the only hospital that cares for hospitalized pediatric patients in the West Valley.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Friedman, what has Banner really done for the immediate area surrounding the hospital?
Sure. Banner really is the economic engine, medically speaking, for the entire West Valley. As the flagship hospital in the West and North Valley, we really appreciate what Banner has done from the start, as you mentioned, in 1960 to present. Your partnership alone through the years that I've worked with the hospital, including your planning applications where you have the 6th floor available in the hospital that's gray-shelled or open and able to expand to meet the needs of the community. I think the fact that you have done that and you're always thinking ahead and investing capitally in our community and in this community only benefits us all. And the fact that, you know, Banner is there is the reason why we have 9,600 employees working in Glendale within a mile radius of your facility. 8,000 of them, of those jobs in that area, are in the medical field, and they are directly related to the fact that Banner had its original capital investment and roots in the 55th and Thunderbird area. So as a community, as the Economic Development Director, doing what we do to welcome jobs and capital investment, what you have done, we really, really appreciate, and the dividends keep on paying in terms of redevelopment and reinvestment, and new doctors looking for facilities very close to work and service the patients in your facility. It's a it's an economic engine, truly in its own right.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to serve, and we appreciate the confidence the City of Glendale has placed in us to trust us with their healthcare needs.
Deb, we really appreciate the city's strong partnership with Banner Thunderbird Medical Center. Can you tell our viewers about some of the programs we partner on?
Yes, we enjoy a particularly close relationship with Glendale Fire Department, and that is important to us because we serve as their base station. And what that means is that we actually have the opportunity to talk with them prior to the patient getting to the hospital. And that's particularly important on time-sensitive illnesses, that early intervention means the difference in the outcome. So for a stroke, that means if you actually are able to identify that early on, you can have the CAT scan ready so that the patient can go in and get a better outcome with their treatment.
Absolutely.
Glendale Fire also helps us prepare for disasters, both internal and external, and so we drill with them quite extensively.
When you're standing here and you've seen all this, you see this hallway, you see this opening, right? What do you think would be better?
What about our police department?
Our police department is important to us too. They train with us, do all kinds of different training exercises, and then as well as keeping our hospital safe and our community safe.
Excellent. Now, there's obviously been a lot of changes in the hospital since you opened at your present location 32 years ago. Can you talk a little bit about how you've expanded over the years to meet the needs of our growing population?
Sure. As I mentioned before, we started in 1983 with 75 beds. About 3 years later, we opened a second tower, and that added an additional 75 beds, and then a third tower 5 years after that, I guess, if I get my history right. Then, to our present state of 555 beds, we opened the South Tower. And it was a $290 million renovation and expansion project. And being with the city, you can imagine that needed a lot of infrastructure changes, and like parking, for example.
Absolutely.
So we opened our second parking garage, but more importantly than that, we expanded all kinds of different services. Heart care, our emergency department doubled in size, and so that was terrific. And because it allowed us to be able to designate a specific emergency department for our pediatric patients.
Anything else new at the medical center? Any anticipated future plans?
Yeah, we are going to open a hybrid OR, and that is a specially equipped for medical imaging in terms of our heart care specialized service, and being able to provide advanced and complex minimally invasive cardiac surgery. And so we're excited about that to happen in June. Something that just happened recently was the Banner Medical Pavilion. It's always been on the campus and just adjacent to us, but we actually were able to do a renovation and beautification project as we brought that as part of our community expansion. Brian mentioned the surrounding community. That medical office space is important for us to be able to bring more healthcare professionals to be able to serve the nucleus of the hospital.
Yes, indeed.
And if I could just add to that, I think that Banner expansion, that Banner footprint, as they expand their services, they attract more and more investment from the private sector, whether it's direct healthcare professionals or it's folks that service the hospital and the other Banner services that you're bringing. There's only the momentum continues to build for Banner and the rest of us along with it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we really do have to listen to what the community needs. And so I'm looking forward to working with you, Councilman, about the things that you're hearing out there that are unmet needs in terms of health care, and that we can partner together, such as behavioral health. There's a tremendously unmet need for behavioral health beds.
Yes.
And one of the things that we recently did was we opened 12 additional inpatient beds, bringing our capacity to 56 psychiatric beds. And that is important for our community, and to have that resource so that patients get placed in a timely manner and get the care that they need. One additional service that we began to offer last year was ECT, or electroconvulsive therapy.
Yes.
And that's really intended for people with severe depression or bipolar disease, and it can often be a very effective treatment to restoring them to mental health and returning them to a normal life.
I can, Councilmember, on that. What we'll see is then, for example, a prized partner like Ms. Harper, who's just across the street with some serious office investments right across on Thunderbird. We'll see perhaps mental health practitioners and professionals and other associates joining the Glendale lineup of companies in service to the Banner's 12 new beds. And so there's just more and more good news that comes from every bit of planning and capital investment that Banner makes in our community.
You just keep growing our economy, don't you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Deb and Brian, for informing our viewers on Banner's impact and the progress in Glendale.
Thank you for letting me be here. I love talking about Banner Thunderbird.
Excellent. Yeah. When we return, we will discuss with Brian and Deb the education connection and partnership in Glendale.